Good morning, everybody. How are you doing? Pastor Mackenzie Cambizi, Progress on Purpose, coming your way this morning. Excited to share some very, very fresh insights that I've just received from talking to some leaders. I spoke to one leader of mine yesterday, spoke to another one today, and my spirit was just moved to share with the world of my friends and those who are blessed with my ministry. I just want to share with you something that is extremely important. Invite someone, share with someone that Progress on Purpose is here. I want to share with us something very, very important that I think it's going to help you as it has helped me, just having conversations with these two leaders that I spoke to, one yesterday and one just this morning. And I believe that there's something greater that we can all learn from that. Let's have a quick word of prayer. Father, give us wisdom. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right, here it is. When you look at Proverbs chapter 4 from verse 5, verse 5 lets us know, get wisdom, get understanding. Get wisdom, get understanding. I believe if the more wisdom you get, the easier the dealings and the doings of life get. So I just want to share with us some wisdom. I was talking to one leader last night who said something extremely important, a young leader who said most leaders want to rule, but they don't want to grow. Yeah, they want to rule, but they don't want to grow. That really impacted me. And when we talk of leaders, leadership is just influence. So if you have influence on your child, influence on your niece, influence on your dog and cat, you are a leader. You don't have to be a pastor. You don't have to be a president. You don't have to be a manager. If you have influence on anybody, you are a leader. And so all of us, so this statement really messed me up all night long. Most leaders want to rule, but they don't want to grow. And I want to challenge you today that are you a leader who just wants to rule and does not want to grow? And I asked the question, I said, well, talk to me. How can you differentiate a leader who wants to rule but do not want to grow? And this leader said to me, listen, there are many leaders who hate meetings. Do we have any leaders out there who hate meetings? Come on, talk to me. We hate meetings. When somebody calls for a meeting, you don't want to go to that meeting. You don't want you have other things to do. But when you call for a meeting, you want everybody to be there. You are a leader who loves to rule, but you do not want to grow. You grow in meetings where you are not the chairperson. You grow in meetings where somebody else has the agenda. You grow in meetings where somebody else has got something to offer. And so it matters. Are you a leader who wants to rule but do not want to grow? As a mother, you are a leader. Are you growing in your role of leadership? How are you growing in your role of leadership? Whether you are a mother, you are a father, you are a pastor, you are a deacon, you are a sibling, big brother, little brother, how are you growing in your leadership role? It matters because you must have a strategy for your growth in any of your leadership capacities. You can't just give and not receive. So I want to challenge the leaders out there. In order for you to grow, my question is, who is feeding you? What are you eating? What's your diet for leadership growth? What's your diet for leadership growth? So I've got 3 principles I want to share with us today. How to move from being a leader who loves to rule and not grow. How can I move? How can I grow and rule at the same time? How can I do that? Because instead, you need both. You need both. Your leadership needs to grow. Somebody says a leader who reads grows. All right? It matters. So we want to talk about it. 3 things then I get out of your way. Is that all right? Let some people know. Pastor Gambizi is here with us, and we just want to do it. Yeah, that's a good sign. If you're a leader who hates meetings, but you love everybody to come to your meetings, you're a leader who loves to rule, but you don't want to grow. And so here it is. Number 1, in order for you to become a leader who grows, how to grow as a leader, you must make a decision. You must make a decision you must make a decision to forget about competition. Listen to me. If you're going to grow as a leader, you must make a decision to forget about competition and move into the cooperative model. All right? Forget about competition and move into the cooperative model of impact. All right? Of impact-driven collaborative partnership. That's a big statement. I love it. I love it. If you are going to grow, become a leader who grows, you must make a decision to forget about competition and move into the cooperative model of impact-driven collaborative partnerships. Do you get that? All right. So in other words, leadership, you can't lead alone. You got to have something that you have influence over. You must have people who are behind you as you lead. And it matters if you are going to grow and rule at the same time, you must forget about competition. Many of us as leaders stop growing when everybody becomes a threat. All right, becomes a threat to you. Everybody has got fears. Everybody has got insecurities. Every normal human being has got some blind spots, have got some insecurities that we have. So in order for you to grow, because listen, God is going to use unlikely people to grow you and to bless you as a leader. So it matters for you if you're going to rule and grow. It is rule and grow. Don't hate growing. You must grow as a leader. You know, if you have been a leader for 2 years, how has that changed you? How has that made you better? There are so many leaders in this world, but their leadership does not change and impact and bless them because they are competitive. They're afraid of everybody. Everybody's a threat. Everybody is a threat to who they are. They are so insecure. Many of us on this line, we have suffered from insecure leaders. Insecure leaders are people who are threatened by anyone who is gifted or appears to be gifted in areas that they are not gifted. This is what happened between Saul and David. You remember Saul and David? Little David came to play for Saul because Saul was crazy. But when little David killed Goliath and the people started singing songs, Saul became so angry that he wanted to kill Goliath. Professional jealousy comes in any leader, who esteems competition above impact-driven collaborative partnership. We can do it together. See, when Saul was chasing David, because the women had sung the songs, David has killed 10,000, Saul has killed thousands, and Saul was angry at it. All he needed to do was to understand that if David killed 10,000 and Saul killed thousands, it meant more thousands of their enemies were dead because of their impact-driven collaborative partnership. Can I talk to somebody? Yeah, I talked to one of the leaders this morning. She's right here. I can see her online. And we were talking about some collaborative impact partnerships we had that we had neglected. And I wanted to understand, if you're going to rule and grow as a leader, make a decision to forget about competition and move into the cooperative model of impact-driven collaborative partnerships. Are you with me? All right. You can have an impact-driven collaborative partnership with your spouse when it comes to the girls and when it comes to the boys, when it comes to your children. That's leadership. You can move into the cooperative model of impact-driven collaborative partnership with your boss on the job. Come on, talk to me. Don't compete with your boss. Just move into a cooperative model of impact-driven collaborative relationship. Come on, talk to me. You don't have to hate your neighbor. All you need to do is to rule and grow by moving into the cooperative model of impact-driven collaborative partnership. I love that. I'm excited about that discovery that I just made here. So make a decision to forget about competition. All right. I'm a pastor. I work with different people in the church and different motives and different reasons. And, I don't have to change my team. I just need to forget about competition and move into the cooperative model of impact-driven collaborative partnerships. In fact, I'm writing 2 books right now. I'm working on 2 books. You're the first ones to hear. I'm writing 2 books. One is From Success to Impact, and the other one is From Success to Significance. Oh, from success to impact, I'm writing that. And the second one is from success to significance. How do you handle these things as you progress on purpose? All right, here it is. So that's number 1. Number 2, in order for you to become a leader who does not just rule and not grow, but you want to rule and grow as a leader, you must have a growth diet, my friend. All right? Who is feeding you? Who is feeding you as a leader? You can't just be feeding everybody. Who is feeding you? All right, okay, here's number two. Number two, here it is. You ready? Number two is you need to establish, in order for you to be a leader who rules and grows, you must establish accountability. You must establish accountability. You must establish accountability. Yes. After moving into the cooperative model of impact driven, collaborative partnerships, number two, you must establish accountability. Every one of us needs accountability. Nobody is above accountability. All right. Without accountability, you are not going to become everything you are destined to be. What does that mean, Pastor? If you are going to establish accountability, you must outline responsibilities with your impact-driven collaborative partnerships. You must establish responsibility. You must establish expectations. You must establish deadlines. Come on, talk to me. Don't just get into partnerships where you don't know when it's supposed to end. Even in your family, as a leader, you need to decide by who, by when. By who, by when. When you are establishing accountability, there must be definitions of by who and by when. That is, you must outline deadlines. There must be deadlines in your family. There must be deadlines on your job. There must be deadlines. Oh, God, I feel like preaching. Do you feel it coming? But let me not get into that. Let me teach you a little bit. So establish accountability by outlining responsibility. Who does what? When, and establish expectations. You know, many leaders don't grow because we are in organizations where there are no expectations. Nobody's expecting greater. Nobody's expecting that we can win the city. Nobody's expecting, even in your own life, you know, what are you expecting in your life? You go to this job, you go to this degree, you got this degree, you got this doctorate. What are you expecting in your life? How much money do you want to make? How many people do you want to help? Come on, talk to me. We're talking of impact here. How many organizations do you want to partner with? You need to establish your expectations, establish deadlines, establish rewards. See, you can't just establish accountability without outlining reward. You know, people are not motivated where there's no reward. We were created for this. Listen, we were created to bear fruit and much more. In other words, anything that you do where there's no reward, you'll give up. All right? That's why you get paid. That's why you get paid. That's why you wake up every morning and go to the same job like you like it, because there is a paycheck every week or every month. So you must outline the reward if you're going to establish accountability as a leader. It matters. What do people get when they do what you're asking them to do? What do you expect to get when you do what your leader is expecting you to do? So it matters as a leader. Have thank you cards. Even in your family, when you have asked your daughter to do something and she does it, you must have a reward for your daughter. Don't just be heard when you are complaining. Be heard when you are celebrating. Don't just be heard when you're complaining. Be heard when you're also celebrating. It matters. And then you must outline sanctions. Sanctions, everybody. If things don't work the way they should go, because you are establishing accountability. Accountability without pros and cons. Accountability without responsibility, it's useless. So there must be sanctions. If you don't do what you've agreed to do, then what's going to happen? All right. So outline acceptable exceptions in advance. All right. So here's number three. Number three. Don't just be a leader who rules, but don't grow. That's what my leader said yesterday. And I couldn't sleep. I was thinking about that, man. Like, it's easy for you to have authority without responsibility. Authority without accountability. There's so many leaders like that. And like I told you, if you have influence on anybody, you are a leader. Authority without accountability is dangerous. Whether it's a husband, whether it's a big brother, whether it's a neighbor, whether it's a boss, authority without accountability is dangerous. Because the human heart is deceitful, desperately wicked. Human heart cannot handle authority, man. That's why we need accountability. Yeah, because any one of us can become a Hitler. Any one of us can become the worst person that we have ever heard in history who did heinous things. Any one of us, we have the potential to be the worst to humanity and anybody beneath you without accountability. You need accountability. Don't be a leader who kills everybody who don't think like you. I once had a leader like that. Don't kill everybody who doesn't think like you. Don't kill everybody who is a threat to your seat. You need to understand, if you're going to grow as a leader, you must surround yourself with people who are better than you, even when you are the leader. Oh God, I feel it. Here's number 3. You ready for number 3? All right, so number 1, make a decision to forget about competition. All right, it's a decision. It's a decision. Make a decision to forget about competition and move into the cooperative model of impact-driven collaborative partnerships. I need those. Is anybody want to move into that impact-driven collaborative partnership with me? If you're out there, please send me a message. I need impact-driven collaborative partnerships. Let's make an impact. Let's do something together. Move into that model and let go of competition, because you will be lonely and alone without people who are partnering with you. And then number 2, establish accountability. Establish accountability. You are not good enough. You are not as good as you think you are. You are not as good as you think you are. You need people. You need accountability. You need someone who checks you out. I'm talking to leaders who want to rule and grow. Is anybody who likes to rule and grow? If you're out there, please just put your thumbs up. I just want to see thumbs up going up. You are a leader who is saying, Pastor, I want to rule and grow, and how do I get that going? I see that. I see that thumbs up. I appreciate that. We need to get there, because without accountability, we're dangerous to everybody around us. All right, here's number 3. Number 3, remember. This is very important to always remember as a leader, because when people become leaders, they forget a lot. But I want you to remember. Now, when I say leader, I'm talking about, if you have influence on anyone, you are a leader. That's my definition I'm using here. Leadership is influence on anyone. If you have influence on anyone, you are a leader. Even if you have an influence on a dog, you are a leader. Okay? Because you impact the life of the dog. So remember, because we forget a lot. When you were dating that person, when you dated that person, you had expectations, man. You had dreams. So remember, when you got married, you had dreams. So please don't forget the dreams you had. When you had a child, you had dreams. Come on, talk to me. Don't forget, please remember. Before you had that job you have right now, the one you're complaining about, you had dreams about this job. Please remember. So listen to me. Remember the impact we can make together. In fact, remember that the impact we can make together will be far greater than any you ever create alone. Now, I'm just talking about this impact-driven collaborative partnerships. As a leader, you will not grow alone. You are not going to grow alone. Always remember, don't forget this, always remember that the impact you make together will be far greater than any you ever create alone. And number 4, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. My friends on Facebook Live, you better share this with somebody else. Let them know, listen, you need to rule and grow. As a husband, rule and grow. As a wife, rule and grow. As a big brother, rule and grow. As a little brother, rule and grow. As an employee, rule and grow. As an employer, as a pastor, as a deacon, whatever title you bear it well. But please grow. Whatever title you want. I'm not really very much concerned about what titles people want. It doesn't matter what title you want. I just want you to grow in that title. All right, so here's the last thing, child of God. The world is waiting for your impact. The world is waiting for your impact. Make an impact. Move from success to impact. You got to impact somebody. And only leaders who grow can impact the world. We need what you have. All of us need it. 8 billion almost in total. The world is waiting for your impact. You need to establish accountability, and you need to make a decision to forget about competition and move into the cooperative model of impact-driven collaborative partnership. And never forget that the impact we make together will be far greater than any you can create alone. I need you. You need me. We're all a part of God's body. Love you all. Progress on purpose. I may be here tomorrow, but listen, I got fired up with these two leaders, one last night, one this morning. And as we were talking, I just got fired up. I had to come on Facebook Live. I'm writing these two books. Pray for me. From success to impact and from success to significance. It's time for us not to be driven by success, but for us to be addicted to impact and significance as we push and make our contributions into the world. The world is waiting for your impact and your significance. Blessings on you, my friends. Share this video to somebody who may need it, who just needs a pick-me-up word. I'm so excited about it. Proverbs 4:5. It says, get wisdom, get understanding. If we get more wisdom, if we get more wiser than we claim to be every other things, man, we are going to be on another level. That's what we are here doing and pushing on progress on purpose. Blessings on you, my friends. Let me go to the gym.